it's me, Chris Williams. I'm driving here from Oregon into Idaho, stopping for the day so I can get some more work done here today. But anyway, I wanted to talk about something that is not music related, but it is RV related. It's kind of an RV tip for RV maintenance, something I had to replace. Just want to talk about it real quick. Just want to go over this pretty quickly if I could. I had to replace my Max Air fan. It's a Max fan that Winnebago was putting in the Winnebago Trend 23L here. And apparently the circuit boards for the switches that send signal to the motor, the circuit boards are failing in some of these fans, probably a lot of them. Some of you might know, and you probably went through the brutal task of just replacing the whole fan, and man, I did not want to do that right now at all. Just didn't want to do it. When I figured out I could replace the circuit board, I would do it. But better yet, furthermore, I was told that Eric Sell, that handles the Max Air fans, really good company, man. They also handle the Mach 3 air conditioning systems that are in these Winnebagos. So if you know that, they handle the Max fans, the Max Air fans, as well as those. They sent the board to me at no cost at all. Shipped it to me FedEx within 2 days. I mean, I was amazed how quick it got to me with the holiday weekend being Labor Day and all. But they got it to me. I was willing to pay for the board. I didn't know they were going to send it at no cost at all. Had no idea. Apparently, they've had a lot of them go down, and you know, that's the things that I remember and will remember when I go to buy another fan like that. If I have to buy another, you know, roof vent fan, Max Air, Eric Sell, man, that's backing up, that's standing behind your product. I mean, I couldn't find the serial number. Somebody had scraped it off, and you know, it's supposed to be one on that fan, but if not, just send them a picture of the fan if it ever goes out, and they'll know which one. But apparently the date on it, this fan's anywhere from 3 or 4 years old. The RV itself's only 2. So apparently Winnebago builds these RVs, they buy a slew of these fans. They have a contract with either Max Air or Fantastic, probably Max Air, and they just buy a bunch of them and warehouse them. So whatever is in stock, they just drop the fan in and go with it. They just put the standard fans that are exhaust only, and then you probably, well, no probably to it, you have to put a cover over the top because it's not the deluxe where it has it and it lowers where you can have it open all the time. So maybe some of the newer ones they do, and I kind of hear that they do. But moving forward to my point, I don't want to get off topic. I replaced that, and it's very easy to do, and I'm going to put a link down below the guy who showed how to replace it, because there's just no sense in me doing a video how to replace it when there's already one good one out there. I'm just letting you know that it does work, and a couple of points I want to make that are very important to this. What I don't understand why, and they should have done this, and this is just my background in electronics and understanding this, is that Winnebago never put fuses. They never took the fan and fused it into the fuse panel. I don't know if it's a case where they just didn't have enough slots and didn't want to do it, but they could at least put an inline fuse off the positive line, a 12 to 13 volt, into the circuit board to power the fan. So point number one is, if you replace the circuit board, or even if you're replacing any kind of a Fantastic fan or Max Air, or you're putting a new one in or replacing it, put an inline fuse in this. I'm telling you, it will save you a lot of grief in the long run, because that's what happened to this, is it popped a component on that old board, and I'll go over that in a second, on a positive end of that one too. It'll kind of save you some grief. Save you probably having to buy another board later down the road. But anyway, in talking to Eric Sell, and based on my experience, I said, listen, I'm pretty sure that I could put an inline fuse to the circuit board from the power, correct? And they said, yes. I said, what would you recommend, 10 or 15 amp? And they said, you would do good putting a 10 amp inline fuse. So what I did was I had an inline fuse with a couple of leads on it from my 12 volt sockets I wired in here that I cut off, because I wired those into a distribution panel back under where my storage compartment was. And I put it in line off the positive wire and put a 10 amp fuse. Then I ran the ground. Now, next thing I will tell you is, when they send you that circuit board, you're going to have a lot of wire on it. Their positive wire is black. It's labeled. The old board had it labeled positive as well. This will help you indicate which wire coming in from your RV is positive. And I say this for one reason. People are saying we should know that already. Not necessarily. You know how to put a meter to it and read it, you will find voltage. But the wiring is different coloring. In other words, for this RV, it's yellow and white. Yellow is positive DC and white is negative, and green and black are it's green, black, and white for the AC, I believe. I can't remember by looking off the charge controller in the other direction, but that's all different subject. But I just sticking to the point with DC, and this RV is yellow and white. By talking to other people that own these RVs, I was told that Winnebago just basically that day or that week picked a color of wiring that they had, and some of these trends or these Tasca Vivas may be red and black, red and white, yellow and white. But one thing they did do is they stayed a pattern. The whole RV and DC wiring, yellow was positive, white was negative. So keep that in mind when you do that. So be very careful when you're wiring that in. You got a plug that goes into the motor, and you got two wires, negative, positive. All that wire that you have when you get everything crimped together, either you heat shrink it or you tape it, bundle it, get it tucked up. You'll see where it comes out. Just carefully tuck it. Don't get it caught where any screws go through it or anything. When you put the fan cover back up for the circuit board, when you put it all back together, basically, just be very careful. But make sure you keep all that wire, keep it tucked, because you don't know, you may need it. Third point is a old circuit board. If you know anything about electronics or know somebody who does, keep that board, because I'm going to see if I can try around here and post a picture of the circuit board. There's two MOSFET JFET transistors. There's two different ones, and the positive and negative goes straight into the first one. That is the component that blew out. The second one, don't think is bad. Didn't get any indication that it was. I'm going to replace it too. So just replace both of those. This is just my background in electronics. I know to put a meter to that transistor. I knew it was bad. It was shorted straight through, all from source to collection to drain, all through. I'm not 100% sure. I'm thinking it's a MOSFET, could be a JFET transistor, but what I think it is it's a switching transistor, and it's also probably a circuit protector. And I say that because I used to work on audio, and they had these triac circuits in these guitar amps and these PAs. PV Electronics was notorious for this. If you had the outputs fail or anything fail within it, replace that triac. And it's just like a MOSFET transistor. And the triac is a circuit protector. If you don't replace it, then it's going to blow out again. Whatever you replace is going to get hit again, or something else will. So it was just it's known facts. Just knowing the product and when you read the schematic, what the specifications say. There's always notes. But anyway, that's off topic. Staying on topic is, if you know somebody or you know how to do electronics, replace those two parts, that'll fix that board, and you'll have a backup for later. It saves you some grief from having to buy another board. It's a cross-referenceable part. I think it was 2N1608 was the first one, and a 3205 or something. I can't remember, or an IRF something. I don't remember the numbers off the top of my head, but it doesn't matter. When I send the picture, you'll see the numbers on them. And the only difference is if there's a different fan or a different circuit board, it'd just be a different number part, and it can very well be the same part. Moving forward, on the new boards, they're all surface mount. They're multi-level surface mount. So unless you really know how to do surface mount that you can see, which I've done before, this stuff's too small. There's some difference. They've done a lot of improvements on that board, and I really don't think you have much to worry about on that. But some of you out there may have replaced your whole fans and not known this. I hate that you went through that. Some of you, your fan may not have failed yet, but if you got a Max fan, Max Air fan, one of the older ones that are going in these Winnebagos and some of these others, just keep that in mind. Mine powered on and it just automatically quit. It was a power surge, little too much current that hit it, and it popped that transistor. So just wanted to pass that on. Any questions, you can comment about it or anything like that. I'll see if I can put the link to that guy's video. I can't remember his name, but I'll find it, who's replaced that fan. You can just look up Max Air fan circuit board replacement, and it should come up. But anyway, I want to pass that on.